Procrastination is a universal struggle that affects people in almost every walk of life. It's a complex behavior where we delay or avoid tasks, even when we know that completing them is essential for our goals and well-being. Procrastination is not merely about laziness or lack of discipline. Though it may sometimes feel that way, it's often rooted in deeper psychological factors that can range from fear of failure to perfectionism, and it can significantly impact both our productivity and personal satisfaction. One reason people procrastinate is because of the emotional discomfort associated with a task. Imagine a project that feels intimidating or overwhelming. It's not just the work involved, but the fear of not doing it well that causes stress. Many times we procrastinate because starting that task brings up feelings of anxiety, inadequacy, or self-doubt. In response, we put it off to avoid these uncomfortable emotions, giving us temporary relief. However, this often leads to even more stress as deadlines approach, creating a cycle of avoidance and regret. Another major factor that drives procrastination is the desire for perfection. Perfectionists often struggle with starting or completing tasks because they set unrealistically high standards for themselves. The thought of producing anything less than perfect can be paralyzing, so they delay action in hopes of finding the perfect solution or achieving flawless results. Unfortunately, this mindset rarely leads to the desired outcome. Instead, it fosters a pattern where the need for perfection prevents them from making any progress at all, trapping them in a constant state of inaction. The issue of motivation also plays a significant role in procrastination. When a task does not feel immediately rewarding or enjoyable, it's easy to lose interest and put it off. In many cases, people feel more inclined to complete tasks that offer instant gratification, such as checking social media or watching videos, because these activities provide an immediate dopamine boost. By contrast, tasks that require sustained focus and don't offer an instant reward, like studying for an exam or working on a long-term project, often feel more daunting and less appealing, making them easier to postpone. Additionally, procrastination is often a result of poor time management or a lack of clear priorities. When faced with numerous tasks, some people may feel overwhelmed and unsure of where to start. Without a clear plan or strategy, they may bounce between tasks without fully committing to any one of them, which leads to wasted time and unfinished work. The lack of organization can turn even simple tasks into burdensome chores, increasing the likelihood of putting them off until later. For many, procrastination is tied to low self-confidence or self-efficacy, the belief in one's ability to complete a task successfully. If someone doubts their capabilities, they're more likely to delay action out of fear of failure or judgment. This self-doubt can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. By avoiding the task, they miss out on opportunities to build competence and confidence, which in turn reinforces their fear of trying in the future. While procrastination often brings short-term relief, it usually leads to long-term consequences that impact both mental health and overall productivity. It can create a cycle of stress, guilt, and self-blame that wears down motivation and self-esteem over time. Procrastinators often feel frustrated and disappointed with themselves for delaying important tasks, which can lead to negative self-perception and feelings of failure. In the worst cases, chronic procrastination can interfere with major life goals and hinder personal and professional growth. Understanding procrastination is crucial because it allows us to identify the specific factors contributing to our delays and address them more effectively. By acknowledging that procrastination is often rooted in fear, perfectionism, or self-doubt, we can begin to dismantle these barriers. For instance, breaking tasks into smaller, manageable parts can help reduce the feeling of overwhelm. Setting realistic expectations and focusing on progress rather than perfection can also be powerful tools in overcoming procrastination. Furthermore, building self-discipline through consistent, small actions can increase resilience against the urge to delay. Taking small steps even when we're unmotivated can help build momentum. Over time, this momentum makes it easier to tackle more challenging tasks. Finally, practicing self-compassion, understanding that setbacks are part of growth, can help combat feelings of inadequacy and prevent procrastination from damaging self-worth. Procrastination is a deeply rooted behavior that often involves psychological and emotional challenges. Recognizing and addressing these underlying causes can empower individuals to overcome procrastination and cultivate a more productive and fulfilling life. By understanding procrastination, we can take the necessary steps toward managing it, ultimately allowing ourselves to focus on our goals with clarity and purpose. There are many strategies and techniques offered to overcome procrastination, but at the heart of it all, there is one fundamental solution: action. When we look closely at procrastination, we see that it stems not from a lack of desire to succeed, but from the difficulty of beginning, taking the first step, and building momentum. Often we are stuck in the cycle of waiting for the right time or perfect conditions to get started. However, by taking immediate action, no matter how small, we can break free from this cycle and make real progress. The single solution to procrastination lies in the ability to act, to do something now instead of waiting for everything to be ideal. The simple truth is that if we wait for the perfect moment, we'll always be waiting. Action is what moves us forward and creates the momentum needed to keep going. This approach is powerful because action has a psychological effect. When we take even a small step toward our goal, it breaks down the mental barrier that's been holding us back, reducing feelings of overwhelm or anxiety. This process of immediate action allows us to engage with the task rather than being paralyzed by overthinking it. One powerful aspect of action is that it doesn't require motivation or inspiration to begin. Often, we believe we must feel motivated before we start. But motivation is fickle, it comes and goes, making it unreliable. By committing to action, regardless of how we feel, we shift our focus from feelings to results. And once we see some initial progress, motivation often follows naturally. This is because success breeds motivation. When we experience small wins, we gain confidence and feel more inclined to keep moving forward. A major hurdle in taking action is the fear of imperfection. Many of us want to get things just right, leading to a perfectionistic mindset. This mentality, while understandable, can be crippling. The pursuit of perfection delays progress and leads to procrastination. However, when we focus on action rather than outcome, we give ourselves permission to make mistakes. The goal is no longer to achieve flawless results, but to make steady progress no matter how imperfect. Taking action then becomes a journey of growth and learning rather than a stressful race to be perfect. Breaking large tasks into smaller, manageable steps is another important part of taking action. Large projects or goals often seem daunting because they involve many unknowns or require significant effort. By breaking them down, we reduce them to a series of smaller, more achievable tasks. Each step completed provides a sense of accomplishment and pushes us closer to the larger goal. This approach makes even the most challenging objectives feel within reach, as each small step serves as a building block toward the final result. The beauty of this single solution approach is its simplicity and universal applicability. Whether we're facing personal, academic, or professional tasks, the act of doing something, anything, moves us out of stagnation. For instance, if writing a book feels intimidating, starting with a single sentence or a short outline can initiate the process. Likewise, if fitness goals seem overwhelming, a 5-minute workout today can be a stepping stone to greater consistency tomorrow. These small, immediate actions compound over time, transforming what once seemed impossible into something achievable. Consistent action also builds resilience. Life will always present obstacles, distractions, or days when motivation is low. However, by building the habit of acting in the face of these challenges, we develop mental strength and discipline. Over time, it becomes easier to push through difficulties and remain productive, even when circumstances aren't ideal. This resilience helps us remain focused on our goals, unaffected by the highs and lows of daily life. Taking action now also fosters self-accountability. When we make a commitment to act, we're making a promise to ourselves to take control of our time and responsibilities. This strengthens our self-trust and builds a sense of ownership over our progress. Instead of feeling helpless or at the mercy of procrastination, we realize we have the power to shape our outcomes. This shift in mindset from passivity to active involvement is liberating and allows us to live with intention rather than regret. The single solution to procrastination is to take action, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it may be. By committing to immediate action, we overcome the barriers of fear, perfectionism, and lack of motivation that so often hold us back. This approach requires no special skills, only the decision to do something now rather than later. And as we continue to act step by step, we realize that our goals are within reach and that the journey is one of continuous growth and self-discovery. In the end, the solution is simple yet powerful. Take action today, and the rest will follow. The solution to overcoming procrastination lies not in complex strategies or waiting for the ideal moment, but in the power of taking immediate action. Procrastination often traps us in cycles of fear, perfectionism, and overthinking, causing us to delay our goals and feel unfulfilled. But by committing to act, whether it's a small step or a single task, we begin to break down those mental barriers that have held us back. This act of doing, regardless of how we feel in the moment, releases us from the need for motivation and helps us gain momentum.